It's Janice. I am with Rooted in NC. Thank you for tuning in. I have a new amazing small business owner that you need to get to know. She's located right in Bass. And I think I told you sourdough is like my favorite anyways. Honestly, it is my favorite bread. I didn't grow up eating it, which is funny, but I found it when I was an adult and I love it. So have you always been like a sourdough lover
No.
too? No?
No. Actually, sourdough is having quite a moment. I don't know. If you Google it on your Instagram, it's like a whole niche thing right now.
It is.
But actually, the way I got started, I didn't even think I liked sourdough. My husband was deployed. So naturally, I needed something to do with my life because raising 2 children solo isn't enough.
Let's add a third thing.
Exactly.
That's just the way
it's a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
And so I just gave it a try. And seriously, for the first 4 months, I'll be honest, I don't even know if I knew I liked sourdough when I started making it.
Wow.
My husband is the kind of guy that has a quick metabolism. Put it that way.
I'm jealous.
Yeah. And so I was like, well, he likes sourdough. He likes bread. I'll figure out how to make sourdough while he's gone, and that'll be like his welcome home present. And it took 4 months of just straight hockey pucks. And I made my own starter from scratch.
Oh my gosh. You went deep down the rabbit hole.
Oh yeah, and I just totally winged it too.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I guess I probably looked up something along the way for sure. Okay. I just don't have this knowledge, but yeah, I just kind of went for it and just didn't quit. Yeah.
But it probably helped you during that deployment.
Yeah, for sure.
And
for sure.
If you've been watching any of the previous videos when I'm meeting with other military spouses who own a business, so many of them all say the same thing. The business started during a deployment.
Yeah.
So that's kind of funny.
So funny. So that was one deployment about probably 2 years ago now. And I was selling a little bit last year. But yeah, he deployed again last year, so I just launched it into a full business while he was gone. And by the time he came home, I had completely renovated our dining room into a full-scale bakery.
I love it.
Because why not?
I love it. That's also what helped you adapt here to the Fort Liberty area is that you grew this baby.
Yes.
To be honest, like she really grew it, really, which is funny. No pun intended. She grew the bread, and then she grew her community.
Yeah.
Really, and I bet it was just a source of finding that, like, hi, that friendly smile.
Yeah, it just gives you so much purpose to know that you're connected to other human beings in the world. I think even as like a general culture, we're just so isolated, but also like, especially when you then have to uproot every 2 to 3 years, that what little progress you make in planting roots, it's like you just got to rip them up again. And so even like as much like the face-to-face, but even just knowing that I'm kind of like touching other people's lives in like, it's bread, right? Like I'm not making any like life-changing movements here, but
you don't know who you're inspiring.
But at the same time,
I'm the cheerleader, the small business cheerleader. You know me. I'm like, no way.
But to know like my bread is on somebody's kitchen table and they could be having a conversation, or at Christmas, like I said, it wasn't even like, the sales were awesome, but also just to know that like that's how many people's lives I kind of vaguely touched was really cool.
I just think, I love Mary from WillaBee Market. Do you ever have that moment where you're just sitting there and like, oh my gosh, I'm here at home and I have my bread in these places. That isn't like...
I will every now and then. It's kind of like an ongoing joke between my husband and I. I'm like, remember that time I like just built a business? Or like we just redid this is probably TMI, but you can cut it if you need to. We just redid our budget, and so like actually putting in there like my bread income, I was like, that was my hobby, and it's like a business.
Girl,
and
I'm not
like
cutting that. That is
an income. Like I was like, wait, I get a line item on our budget now for her. I like almost cried a little bit. It was like, this is crazy. I manifest, it's not really, but like it was literally, this all started, I was sitting in the backyard with a horde of children and my next door neighbor, and I was like, I think I might start selling bread. And at that time I see all the cute Instagram influencers who are in the bread that I was like copying recipes from.
With the apron.
Yes.
If you need a cute apron, go see my friend in Carthage, Monica.
But I like would see that, and they have this, it's a beautiful, beautiful bread oven, Simply Bread. And I would see them with that, and you can fit 15 loaves in there at one time. And I was like, in the back of my head, but I didn't even dare say it out loud, like had a idea that is what I wanted, and I have it now. Like I just kind of like, it was there, but I didn't even dare speak it into existence.
Yeah.
And now I have it. And it's just wild. I'm just like,
I was surprised when she told me 100. I did not realize there was that much loaves of bread you were pumping out.
Yeah.
That is
from my dining room.
You're not alone. I know a candle maker. She was like, I need to get a space. Because the candle vessels were all over her table.
Oh, yeah.
But I love that our families, it sounds like your husband's really supportive in it.
Yeah, for sure.
I do love, it is hard being a mom because you're we're our hardest critic because we want to be everything to our children. Yeah. And so balancing time could feel challenging when you're a small business owner. Yeah. But what I do love is what your husband said. He saw you happy dancing, and I'm sure your kids are seeing that, and they can say, "Oh my God, I remember my mom built this." You know?
And there is so much, just to be honest about it. It was an ongoing conversation with my husband, and there were moments where he was like, "This is taking up so much time." Yeah. We did do the analysis. Is it worth it or is it not? Because I definitely didn't ever, my family is first, and I didn't ever want to jeopardize anything with that. Yeah. And so we did have a conversation. It wasn't always just an assumed, this is what you're going to do, go for it. But it was just a constant communication thing. And even now, there is time that there is just so much guilt in that, I have to shape this bread or it's going to get destroyed kind of a thing. And my kids need me right now, and so there's moments of that push and pull. Absolutely. Just in the fact that we're human and there's 24 hours in the day.
And our lives can be unpredictable being in the military, active duty. Let's just say that. For
sure. And so it's definitely a process of figuring out how it works, how to balance it. Today I have a nanny who's at my house because I finally was willing to accept that I can't do everything literally every moment of the day, and I do need one day a week where I can, this is usually my dough day. I'm off of making bread this week. Nice. So usually I'm making dough and I'm figuring out curriculums and I'm, taking care of laundry and that kind of a thing, but I couldn't do all of those things and give my children the attention at the same time. So just kind of figuring out how to balance it all and how to meet everybody's needs to the best of our ability, but to not forget that I also have those needs.
Yes.
And so I would feel this guilt sometimes, but then to see them talk about hey mommy, can I be a baker when I grow up? Or I actually have a doctorate too. So side note, in a different field.
Okay, what is it? You can't leave
It's in athletic training.
Oh,
so I'm an allied healthcare professional.
I love it. Hey,
Once upon a time I was anyway.
I'm a criminal justice major.
Exactly. So yeah. So just,
Look at us now.
Exactly. And so they'll be I want to be a doctor and a baker. And I was just how cool is it that my daughter is saying that? And she's talking about her mother, a doctor and a business owner as a woman. And that is the example that she is seeing. And that is what she's aspiring to no, she really will know that she can do anything. And eventually, they're 3 and 4. So eventually once they, remember to wash their hands and not pick their noses, then I will.
It happens quickly. It doesn't feel like it in the moment, but it does.
I would love to get them in the bakery with me or give them jobs working with me and have them have something that they can create to take to market and show them how that works.
I can see, okay, so I help businesses with marketing. Mm-hmm. To me, I'm already visualizing, I can see you in the photo with them surrounded, one on each side. Oh, it's gonna be cute. Yeah, totally cute. I love that. Oh, I like that. But I love that you talked about that because we all have those feelings are we giving too much to this? Or we're always trying to find balance.
Yeah.
And it's okay because I think seasonality also, like we go through different times in our lives. We have to pull back or we can give extra time.
Right.
So I like that you are being intentional and thinking about that, and you've recognized that you need that, like, hey, that stopping point of 1 day a week to kind of recharge. Because I'll be honest and just be really raw about this. I went through so many years where I didn't do that. I just kept driving forward. Like, okay, you've seen this meme. Is it the Corella I think it's the Corella DeVille, and she was like, her eyes are bulging and they're all red, and she's saying, I'm trying to manage, what was it, like, career, house, everything.
Yeah.
And burnout's a real thing.
Yeah, and not even burnout, but like, so we'll just go all the way in.
Yeah.
I don't have any filters.
Same, girl.
I'm just open book. So my mom passed away when I was in college, and a lot of it I attribute to her taking care of everyone else so much that she didn't take care of herself and her own health. And so to see that, it's like I just really learned firsthand that, like, it's hard. I still am like, is it okay if you stay home so I can go to the doctor? And my husband has been really helpful and like, yeah, that's like a basic need. Or even, you know, when I'm stamping bags or working on something for the business, I'll be like, I'm working. And it sounds so silly because obviously to everyone else, it's like, yeah, you are working, you have a business. But to me, because it's so much fun and it brings me so much joy, I was like, there's no way this is work.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's no way. This is just me playing, which is like beautiful to have that much joy from it, but also to like give it the validation of like, I'm working.
Yeah.
And I can hold boundaries with my work in a way that's like healthy for our family, and just like the whole balancing act of it all.
And I feel like I keep shouting out a million people in this video, but I really, when I meet you, I really take in what you share with me, because I think it's so important. I think we can learn so much from each other. And I'm with you on that, like, we are so disconnected sometimes, but I'm trying to be intentional to be more connected with people. But Michelle from Operation Honor Rural Salute, I'll tag her below. Her and I had a great conversation about how she has really set boundaries, because I'm a workaholic. I admit it. Look, I have to be intentional and cut myself off, or my husband has to like tap on my shoulder and remind me to stop, because I can keep going, and I want to be everything to my kids, my home, my career. But she said, oh my gosh, I set limits. And I think she said like Mondays and Fridays she won't take meetings.
It's so smart.
And she was like, she really shared with me that she has been way more productive since she made limits. And it's hard to make limits for yourself, because look, sometimes I'm like 15 minutes, and then I think to come here, I was like, okay, 9 o'clock, I need to stop, because I was on the computer and I knew how long it took me from my house to get here. It was 9:10. Okay, like
you know, make some wiggle room, but time. Know yourself.
And hey, listen, I didn't have my, like, I was in my house clothes, so then another 10 minutes, but you know, I like to live by the seat of my pants. What can I say? But I've been really thinking on what she shared, because she just shared that with me 2 weeks ago, like being intentional about boundaries. And it sounds like you've
working
done
through
that.
Trying.
Which overall, but I
That's all you can do is try.
Exciting coming up, or any goals for this year for your business?
Ooh, that's a good one. I am the class I think is really big. I actually am an introvert. You can't tell, but there are certain aspects where I feel confident, and like this is one of them, and community is kind of one of them. But generally speaking, like if you were to invite me to a big event, I'm out. No, kind of a thing.
I get that.
So the class is really me stepping outside of my comfort zone. There's so much I don't know. I still just don't know. I don't believe that this is successful.
Are you still surprised?
Yeah, I still think nobody wants to come to my class. Like, I don't know what, I'm self-taught. There are so many amazing bakers here in this area that actually went to culinary school and can like get into the science of fermentation, and I know basic. I know like fermentation 101, and that's about it. And so sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what I have to tell people.
Listen.
So the class is really outside of my comfort zone. I would love to host a couple of them.
Okay.
Throughout the year. I think really a little bit of growth would be nice, but in a sustainable way. That's really important to me with our family. And like we have another upcoming deployment coming up on the horizon.
Same
like
girl. We're
always, forever. You know, like
we're gonna be calling. I'm gonna be knocking on her door. I know you got bread in there.
Yeah.
I'm sad. I need some bread. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, and just continued. I don't know what it looks like, but some sort of continued connection to the community, because that has been just such a lifeline for me. And I just think there's so many amazing, wonderful women, especially. Honestly, I'm sure the men are doing stuff around here too, but the women are just rocking it.
They are, and business women too, all women. But I feel like I've never seen so many business women.
Right.
Like here, I'm really
like I would really have to rack my brain for a couple of men of businesses around here.
How many people did I like name off during this video? Can't wait for you to continue to follow her and really support her. And we're gonna build this community.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it what we want it here.
For sure.
Awesome. And one last thing, because you know, like I'm always like a bye 10 times, but I think why her and I clicked immediately. We're both from Texas. You know,
we are. That's true.
I gotta rub that in a little bit. But
same area too. It's a big state.
You know it's big, but thank you so much for your time. Seriously,
of course,
Julia.
thank you.
And anything I can do to support you, you let me know.
Thank you.
But definitely support her small business. You gotta love some carbs.